Hi everyone, so it is the day after the Hackerbattlebots second championships, and yeah, it was a tough competition. The Northern Ireland teams have really stepped up their game here. We also had a couple of English teams as well that came over, which was really great. Um, but it's great to see this weight class really growing after the 3 years that it's been going over here in Northern Ireland. Grant, that is the creator of Hacker BattleBots, should be very proud of what he's done over here because the competition was fierce and class, and I can't wait. And I do hope some UK teams, some big names, hopefully come over here for the championships next year because I'd really love to see what they could make. I know today that this is being filmed that the first ever 450-gram weight class in the UK in Liverpool is being held. I am really excited to see what the guys over there can do, and hopefully we can jump in and fight one another in the future. But yes, the event. So in 2024, the first Hacker BattleBots Championship, we entered two robots in. We entered Destructigator in, and we entered Full Force in. Now, they were experimental. They were not 100%. And in that, we got seventh place with Destructigator, and we got eighth place with Full Force. This year, I brought four machines with me, and the four machines that I brought were Triple X, our first ever flipper in that weight class, and also the first ever flipper in this weight class in Northern Ireland. The next meetup, Team Maniac went off and made another flipper known as Scarab, which was fiercely powerful. When Triple X and Scarab met each other, it was good battles. Unfortunately, Team Maniac didn't enter into the competition this year. I think due to the damage of the meetups between both their machines getting damaged. So yeah, it didn't work out. But hopefully we'll see them next year in some shape or form at a competition. But it meant that Triple X was the only one in this competition, and a heavily spinner orientated competition, which was some really scary spinners. The other machine obviously was Destructigator. So you all know who Destructigator is. If not, I'll be making a standalone video about Destructigator next year, hopefully. um, so the other ones were Full Force and Electric Brick. So this was actually a really perfect time because Catherine could come with me. So her two robots that she entered in was Full Force and Electric Brick, and I entered in Destructigator and Triple X. So Team Penny had both its members going to support to represent our teams. So the full championships are up right now, so there's no spoilers. This will probably be up. Video might be up Wednesday, so you've got time. But if you only clicked onto this video right now and you don't know what happened, I would say stop the video, go watch the championships, come back. So it was very bit varied in its ways, with how we ranked in the finals. So unfortunately, because how crazy the competition was, as I said last year, Destructigator and Full Force got seventh and eighth place. This year, because how brutal it was, Destructigator, who I believe was my strongest robot, got joint ninth place. Got joint ninth place with Full Force. I will be showing you damage report there that'll explain a little bit more. But yeah, yeah, a lot of changes to be done. The ones that surprised us is we also joined up with Team Damageator to have one of our machines be a second entry for them, which was Public Menace, which is our very first cluster bot, and it did surprisingly well. It got fifth place, which was crazy. Or joint fifth place, because the next one who got fifth place was Catherine's robot, Electric Brick. That machine, I'm super proud of it. It's been battered around the arena by spinners, and it just refuses to die. That's when you know you've really got a good robot. Yeah, so that was insane. That for Team Penny, we had joint ninth place with two of our robots and fifth place with Electric Brick. But the one that surprised me the most, that I didn't have a lot of confidence in because it was a flipper going into a big spinner event, Triple X got second place. And I, guys, you have no idea how proud I am of that, because Triple X was kind of a last minute, like, fuck it, let's see if I can make a flipper. You know, I've made flippers in the 150 gram weight class. Can I make a successful flipper in the 450 gram weight class? I think I've proven to myself and to the other teams that were there that, which it made them consider and think we're going to build flippers, which I'm looking forward to next year. But it proved that a flipper can be successful, and I can be successful building one. So yeah, I'm just over the moon with it, and I can't wait for next year to see if I can defeat the two-time reigning champion with Chevron. You know, Sam, if you're watching this, you should be very proud of your engineering skills. They always amaze me. The amount of times honestly, Team Chevron will shock you. I might do like a video down the line showing each team and them talking about their robots and how they got um, the designs and stuff. Just a bit more insight of the teams over here. But enough of me waffling on. Let's show you the damage that each machine did and what we're going to improve. So we'll start with the bottom of the robots and my boy Destructigator. So at last tournament, the last championships back in 2024, it got seventh place. Because how brutal the event was, it dropped down to ninth place. So yeah, um, the robot it first fought was Downdrift, which is this big giant bladed creature. It did the biggest damage to Destructigator. So the first thing that it did is it actually blew the the weapon motor completely apart. You can see here as well that it done damage to the protective tooth that was designed to stop a robot called Judas. And Judas wasn't there this year, but the Downdrift is definitely one scary machine. But it also destroyed this, but it also blew the ESC inside Structigator, and we're frantically trying to get that up and running again. So this is what's left of the first weapon motor. It destroyed the magnets inside this and destroyed the cam shaft, I think it's called, the outside of it as well. Thankfully, the Hardox blade was fine, but as you can see here, it is very, very loose because the bolts had sheared as well. So we didn't have a weapon. We did get a new speed controller really quickly, wired it up, just wasn't working. So unfortunately, Structigator, because it's not designed to be a push bot, we had to stick a wedge on the front of it, and it didn't really work out too well. Now, the one thing that I'm really happy about is the Bainbot wheels that we have. We're very limited on those, held up really well and gave us the best grip for driving that. But after a lot of battles and fighting, or we usually fight against Scratch. Thankfully, this time the switch on the back hadn't been damaged, so we got away lucky from that. But this drive unit is working perfectly fine. This one is completely dead. So the repairs for Destructigator is going to be new speed controller that we've ordered from Team ULL, new weapon motor, and we also have to get an N20. We might just get a whole new drive system. a whole fresh batch of N20s, and so Rocket will be up and running for 2026. The returning robot, Full Force. So Full Force in 2024 got 8th place, and the weapon didn't work. Yet again, another machine that this got joint 9th place this time because of how brutal the competition was. So its first battle, if I'm correct, if you watch the championships that I put up, this blade was an experimental blade that me and Team Igor, JL Games here on YouTube, were coming up with is why don't we'd have a TPU blade that would, if we run out of blades, we can constantly print them out. The tooth kept getting worn down because, unfortunately, a lot of the robots that Full Force fought in the competition were TPU related. We did fix the drive to make it more faster, but yeah, the blades are unfortunately the tooth starting to wear down on them. So I think that realistically cost it its ranking and battles because it couldn't actually finish off its opponents. So yeah, the only upgrade the best part about it is the TPU shell worked perfectly fine, which is fantastic. So we're not changing that, and it took on downdrift and survived. But the only upgrade we're going to do to Full Force is basically get it a big metal tooth, and I think then it'll become a devastating robot in 2026. But we're super proud of Full Force that it spun up on all of its battles. Now, surprising robot that we have is our clusterbot. Our clusterbot known as Public Menace. So I'm just going to leave these two here. This machine was just quickly rushed into, only had one test event for the championship. It was more of a last minute attempt. So Team Damage Dealer would have a second robot in case their main robot got knocked out in the competition very quickly. So I always wanted to have a clusterbot. I always loved Crackers and Smash from Robot Wars, and I was like, yeah, let's have a clusterbot. Let's do something crazy. Let's have 3. So these are all TPU, and we got them in weight. We're literally about, it's a 450 grams. That's the max weight limit. We got these down to 447 grams. So we were just very close to the limit. But yeah, these guys got 5th place. That's insane for its first debut in championships. It got 5th place. The only damage is that Trusty, literally its wedge here, got chewed up by Warrior. Dash, perfectly fine. Dusty, perfectly fine. A few scratches, but these are working perfectly fine. And so is Trusty. The only thing we have to do is change out the front panel for a new panel, and it's good to go. But the beautiful thing about it is we had entanglement devices, which was so cool. And we thought it would jump up and jam up weapons and stuff, and it actually did. Here's a little clip of how successful it was.
He's getting bullied. Oh. Yeah. Yes! Yes! Okay, we.
Kayla, what's going on?
Okay. Oh, we're still good. That was beautiful!
Watch the going out now.
Careful.
It's me, Kaylin. Do not go in the pit.
Be careful,
There's no
sir.
pit.
But you remember the void?
Are we now calling it the void?
Yes. It's cooler.
Oh, Kaylin, trust me.
Get out! Guys, let me knock him over. Get him!
Right, go on, trust me.
but yeah, you can see that's so cool. So we're not going to change anything to it. It's that old robot war saying kiss, keep it simple, stupid. If it's working, don't mess with the system. So yeah, we're very proud, and they will be coming back again for next year's. So next machine that we have is Catherine's robot, electric brick, and trust me, even though that it is battered, it got fifth place all through the championships. It is a Rambot, and these are steel panels right round. I know they look pretty battered with the spinners, but internally everything is fine. There is a big part, like a acetane part on the wedge here, that's to get underneath the robots. That was doing very effective until the horrible moment is when something hit the floor and lifted the wedge up, and that part there is where Warrior hit its tooth, hit it and battered the hell out of it, so it bent it out of shape. But it made it to fifth place and won the massive bot rumble at the end of the competition. We've got Team Damage Dealer's robot, Damage Dealer. So Damage Dealer is like a grabber control robot, and it's had a few changes. Like, original plan was to turn into a spinner, but I want to do something out of the ordinary. As I say, the competitions are very heavily spinner orientated, so I've done the Craig Danby approach, as if someone's doing one thing, do the opposite. So, talking to the teams, they like their grabber. So this was kind of based on their first ant weight. When they first came into the competitions in Mech Mayhem, they had a grabber machine. So that's why we moved it up to the 150-gram weight class. It held up. The armor really held up. Like, it looks pretty scuffed, but the steel panels held up. Like, we could reuse them again if we needed to. But we're completely redesigning this machine to have a lower wedge in the front, and we also will have a claw system, which will have two claws, because unfortunately this claw did work effectively, but in its last fight with Warrior, that's what happened to the wedge, and also happened to the claw. Now, in the fight with Full Force, we now know that the claw does work and stopping the weapon. It did actually stop the weapon when them two faced off against each other. But yeah, we are going to be redesigning this for next year, and hopefully we will have better traction and better control. Very proud of it. And last but not least, the one that shocked the hell out of me, Triple X. So Triple X was the very first flipper ever in Northern Ireland. The next event meetup was Team Maniac that made Scarab, which unfortunately the Team Maniac team hadn't entered into the competition this year, so the only flipper in the competition was Triple X. I didn't have hopes that it would make it out of its first round battles because how crazy the spinners were, and also because we had our own robots and we bought 6 robots. So it meant that we would face off against each other. I was in hopes, panicking, because if it faced off against Destructigator on a 1v1, I didn't know what way it would work. Thankfully, the way the bracket worked, we never met each other. But everything, guys, everything worked in this. It went through all of its battles. Realistically, it only really suffered defeats to the 2-time reigning champion Team Chevron's Robot Chevron. You know what, I'm proud of that, because we put on some really entertaining fights. There wasn't one-sided. It was very seat of your pants moments with them, but I'm so happy and proud of it. I got second place with the flippers, so I've also proven that you can work with a flipper against a very heavy orientated spinner competition. It suffered no damage. The wedge, realistically, the acetane had cracked there, but that was because of the rumble at the end with Warrior. We've got backup wheels we never used, but the wheels that we used, one of the wheels got sniped, so we have to get a whole new set of wheels. But we've got these backups for now. Scratch did that in the rumble at the end, but I mean, it came away perfectly fine. I just have to replace the wedge on the front. I'm not changing anything design-wise with it. It'll be going into the competition exactly the way it is here, but I am super, super proud of it. So yes, that is the end of this video. I want to say thank you so much. I really appreciate you taking the time out to watch this. And I really appreciate the people who showed up, who were audience members who came to the event and came around and checked out and that there. The one thing about events like this, you have to support your local events to keep something like this going. And Hackerbattlebots are definitely going in the right track with this. I'm looking forward to plans that I'm doing myself, trying to upgrade the Makameha arena to then actually run both 150 gram and 450 gram weight class. So I'll be doing a bit of video of that, so you can check that out when the video comes out. But yeah, what a way to end 2025, getting second place with our robot with Triple X, fifth place with Electric Brick, joint fifth place with Public Menace, and joint ninth place with Destructigator and Full Force. I can't ask for that. It's just still processing it. But yes, thank you so much for watching this video, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye bye, everybody.